You see the turtle?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the turtle beach. Huh? Oh, I know, it was like lake water. Where was it? It was a holiday. Something with flags. Is that Memorial Day? We were talking about our first visit here a few years back. Nathaniel P. Hobe Sound National Wildlife Refuge is located on North Jupiter Island, a stunning undeveloped beach in southeast Florida, and is one of the places I love to take long shelling walks. Today I'm here with my husband Cowrie and our littlest Ella. It was late afternoon, but I was pleasantly surprised to find lots of little treasures, including cowries. What? Totally amazing. Coffee bean trivias, Mexican talons, flats, imperials, paper cockles, Scotch bonnets, a freak calico, beautiful pops of orange, and I was gifted one of my bucket list shells, meeting up a few days later with shell friends. Welcome to Florida Beach Walks. I'm Roxanne. Let's go shelling at Nathaniel P. All right, I got Ella settled down with Daddy, and I took off shelling, walking north, and there were a lot of shell piles just right by where our beach chairs were, not too far. So I'm gonna start looking in here first. Lots of seaweed on the beach. Here are some spectral bittersweet clams and a Mexican talon, not to be confused with a speckled talon as I was before. It sure is great to learn and relearn things. Been working on my jewel box IDs also. Here's another one. I was confusing the corrugate ones with the left-handed varieties. A thorny oyster. Oh, too bad it's cracked down the middle, but I'm gonna hold on to it because it still has its little thorns. Usually those are all worn away by the time they're on the beach. Rough scallop in rough shape. Let's see, a jingle. Let's see what else we got. An egg cockle. All right, that still has a little bit of its gloss left. Sometimes these are really, really glossy. We'll find a glossy one a little bit later. A beautiful little flat. This was just sitting there right underneath the seaweed. Perfect zigzag flat. Great hinge wings and all. Awesome. So I still am missing my hand digger. So I bought another one, but I don't like it. It's too sharp and the points are not blunt like the first one I had, so I really do hope it shows up in my garage. Mexican talon. Another little one. So I wanted to pull it out so I can start scraping around under the seaweed. And here are a couple rough scallops. I'm always able to find these tiny rough scallops here on this part of Jupiter Island. Here's a thorny oyster, but I'll not take that one. And a lady in waiting Venus clam. Very nice definition on that one. There's a little juvenile one. Let's see, we got, oh, that's pretty. A calico scallop with some orange on it. And a buttercup lucine. All right, they're never too buttery over here, but that's still special to find here. Oh man, Sanibel. That's where I get the really beautifully colored buttercups. And a shiny auger. Now I have always collected these and they have never sparkled like this one, and this feels so slick. Now I understand why they're named shiny augers. They really are shiny. Here's a spectral bittersweet clam, another one, different markings on this one. I think this is really pretty. Started out white and decided to burst into some color. And an Imperial Venus clam. Oh, so fun to find. And this one is perfect. Perfect. It's so nice. These, I don't know what it is about these little clams, but they are beautiful. Check that out. Another related clam is the King Venus, found in South Florida to Brazil. They have a little bit more prominent ridges, a little sharper. Oh, I want to find one of those. And here is another lady-in-waiting Venus clam. According to the Bailey Matthews Shell Museum, it gets its name because of its concentric ridges resembling the frilly trim on the gowns of ladies-in-waiting who were personal attendants to royalty. Here is a really, really pretty Leafy Jewel Box. Nice coloring on this one. Members of the Jewel Box family genus Chama, like this Leafy and the corrugates and the cherries, they're cemented by their left valve, so their lid is their right valve. Oh, lion paw piece. Total collecting it. I did not. I'll just go ahead and tell you now, I did not find an entire lion's paw on this trip. I was hoping to find one, but can't find them on all the trips. Let's see what's up in here, up under here. It's so fun to just to look. Oh man, that is a giant bittersweet, but I wish it wasn't so far gone. I am still yet to find a really good palm size. Actually, Corey did find one when we found the Lion Paws Walk. Oh my goodness, he found a really nice one. Here is a keyhole limpet. Should I say it's a cayenne? I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not going to even guess on these. Well, I don't know. I got to learn these limpets sometime or another. I want to try to learn them. These look like Pennsylvania Lucines, but these are the thick buttercups. They have a little bit of yellow on the inside, and they're much, much thicker than Pennsylvanias. And here is a worm snail cluster atop a pretty good sized Leafy Jewel Box lid. I did try to remove the worm cluster, but I probably should have just left it on because it took off a lot of the leaves in the process and didn't look as pretty. All right, another flat. These are so thrilling to find, and I have found, I believe, more flats in this Hobe Sound area than anywhere else on the beaches that I frequent over here. And here is a common American auger. This one is really good shape. Nice tip on that one. And a Florida prickly cockle. I do love the texture on the shell on the outside edge. It's just so nice. this is a pretty special find. This is the lower valve of a Zigzag scallop. So this would be the right valve, and it is a little dark with the iron sulfide staining, and I'm going to take that out with a 6% solution of hydrogen peroxide, and I'll show you how amazing it lightened up at the end. So I've been hanging around the low tide line, so I'm going to check the high tide line because I started noticing a lot of piles up there, so I definitely wanted to take advantage of what was up here too, because this line or rack line seems to get bypassed a lot more, so you never know. And here is a brown piece of sea glass. I will collect it. I know some people think it's trash. And a Florida prickly cockle. This one, another stunning example of that texture. So pretty. Every time I pick these up, I just have to like run my fingers over that edge a few times. And a yellow prickly cockle. And here is a Magnum prickly cockle. I heard SWF Beach Life mention that these could be Magnum cockles, and I got a new to me older shell book, and I turned to the cockles page. I was like, yes, it was finally in there. Confirmation. So we'll go with Magnum prickly cockle. So we have that one in the middle with a yellow to the right and a Florida prickly cockle to the left. And here's the inside. That Magnum looks a little bit more square. All the ones that I've picked up, I've definitely noticed that they have more of a square shape. Here is a Northern Quahog. Has that nice purple inside and a pretty deep scar on the outside. They're normally not marked like that, so I'll hold on to this one. The purple is a little faded, but that's all right. And a beautiful orange pop on the scaly scallop or a scenty scallop. All right, I'm back down by the water. Here's a pretty shark eye, and we'll head back up to that high tide line a little bit later, but I started noticing some more chunks on the beach, so I'm all over the place. I just follow the shells. And another keyhole limpet. Maybe this is another cayenne too. And an Imperial Venus clam. Oh, these limpets. I think the best thing would be is to have like lots of them in front of me and get someone to explain exactly what's going on with this species. And okay, yeah, it has a little, I'm going to Dremel that, and I bet you it'll just look like the juvenile version. And here is a painted egg cockle. This is so tiny and so pretty. It is very, very thin. Can't believe it made it up their hole, but I'm excited about that one. And another scaly. These only have one prominent hinge wing, scientifically known as an auricle. So the other one is very short. It looks like it's missing. And here is a broad paper cockle, beautiful orange. These are very similar to the spiny paper cockles. The spiny paper cockles typically are like around the whitish pale color, while the broad, hence its name, has a broad range including orange and reddish shells. Just learned that. And here is a red-brown arc. And we got another scaly and a Scotch bonnet. These always seem like when I get to the beach late, always hiding under seaweed. They just get overlooked, but hey, I'm thankful seaweed is my friend on a late beach walk. Check this perfect shell. Now, it looks like the lower valve of a flat, but not a zigzag. So dare I say this is the lower valve of a round rib flat. It looks like it to me. I'm not 100% sure because it's so tiny, but it is beautiful. Oh yeah, bring on the coffee beans. I love finding coffee beans. Oh, I just love shelling. It's so fun. And I never find those things. Oh, here's a broad rib cardita. I never find those coffee beans just standing up. It's always when I'm squatting down. They are such a tiny treasure. And check this. Is that the same one? I don't know if that's the same one I picked up or not. I did pick up quite a few. Yep, spoiler. But that's really a good definition on that one. Let's see what else is out here. It's gonna get exciting real soon. Oh, another Scotch Bonnet. I thought that was another shell at first. Yes, a Scotch Bonnet. That will always bring a smile to my face as well. Now this is the shell that I thought was next. A cowrie. It is so thrilling to find cowries because you just don't find them that often. This is a yellow cowrie. A little old, but hey, I'm definitely holding on to that one. Let's see, we got a large giant coquina, a little piece of it. Oh, actually a big chunk, a big chunk of it. All right, any more hiding here? We have a rough scallop. When you find that cool shell, you start looking a little bit harder. Like, okay, there's gotta be your cousin, your brother. Show me your sister, please. And here is a turkey wing, a pretty nice dark striped turkey wing. All right, we have to have a close-up of this Atlantic yellow cowrie. The top is completely worn off its patterning. That polka dot speckled would be on the entire top of the shell, like this one. This is one from my shell cabinet, my prize yellow cowrie. I did acquire this one from a shell show that was retrieved from a dive out, I believe, in Boca Raton. So definitely have to go diving for those pretty ones. And here is a nice broken piece of a Scotch bonnet. Yay! And another little cute coffee bean. Wow, I am running into more of these than I would usually on a trip. You know, a couple. So this high rack line is definitely yielding. And another yellow cowrie. This is worn just like the first one. But man, to find two, that was something. Here is a carrier shell. It is a little bit worn and weathered and has a little crack in the top. So I'm going to try to, at the end, I have glued some shell bits to it. So if I was a carrier shell, that's what I would choose. So I'll show you that one. And that was a pear whelk and a green star. Man, this high tie line is really paying off. Oh, high rack line is really paying off. And a purplish simile. And these are pretty thin shells, and it's really nice because you can see the color saturation all the way through. And this is a heartbreaker. Oh my word, could you imagine if that was whole? I'm gonna hold onto this piece. This is a dog head triton. I've been looking for this shell. I always have the hopes to find tritons and cowries and all the East Coast dream shells. And here is a large Strigilla. I just did a recent blog post on my website depicting the difference between this and the rose petal talons. Yay, another coffee bean. I will definitely not pass that up. Guys, another cowrie. But I think this one though is a gray cowrie because it was missing a little bit of that pattern, that leftover pattern. Yeah, and another coffee bean. They're just all up here. Oh, I love this high rack line today. And sure, we'll just pick up another one, another coffee bean, and another yellow cowrie.
This is 4?
I can't believe all these were just sitting up here. Crazy. Here is a lightning Venus, also known as a lightning Pitar, after their scientific name, Pitar fulminatus. Sweet, a lace murex. These are always fun to find, especially when they're in good condition like this one. Let's see, cockle. Let's see what else we got. A chalky lucine. Definitely collect these as my little bowls. Love. I just love the bulbousness and whiteness, white chalkiness of that shell. Perfect name for it. And here's another thick buttercup. See, lots of arc shells and sand dollar bits. Oh, that one's a little a little too far gone for me. Let's see. And another purplish simile. This one's a little bit bigger. That's pretty. They lose some of their purpliness and orangeness, the orange varieties, when they get a little bit bigger. And sure, we'll just add that coffee bean right to the shell collection. Yay! A Scotch Bonnet way up here. All right, I found two by the water, and I found that one up here. And here is another keyhole limpet. I believe this is a Lister's keyhole, and another coffee bean trivia. All right, I need to stop picking these up now. A Florida rock snail. Have a little bit of variety. Here is another Lightning Venus clam, also known as a Lightning Pitar. And a buttercup, a slippery buttercup. Hey, and it's a little extra yellow from the other ones, and that is really nice. An Imperial Venus clam, stained, doesn't matter, I will collect it. And another buttercup, more along the lines of the less yellow, I find. And here is a really glossy Egg Cockle. Very nice to find. That one's still shiny, and a lettered olive that has a little bit of its shine left on it as well. And here is a dark seraph. This is a lighter version. They can come a little bit darker than this one, often spiraled with brown and white. Here is a really, this one was buried for quite some time. A Peroxide. That's actually really pretty dark gray like that. That's pretty much almost black. And a very large turkey wing. A little bit weathered, won't keep it, but that was an impressive size. And a shark eye. A little cute, and I'll collect it. Well, here is something a little extra special. This is a Calico Scallop that is a freak shell. It has a little abnormality. Awesome. Been buried for a little while. I'm definitely going to soak this one in the hydrogen peroxide too. And like the lower valve of the Zigzag, I'll show you how that turned out too. In a paper cockle. Another one. A broad paper cockle. This is more of the raspberry sherbety color that I typically would find them in when finding these. Awesome. Awesome. To be finding more than one of these. Yay! A hinged large Strigilla. Nice. Look at that pink inside. Oh, such a pretty shell. For these being a fairly small shell, I'm just wondering how it got its name large. They should be small Strigilla. All right, another green star. This is more on the brown side, but that is still pretty fun to pick up two of those. And a worm shell piece. We'll collect that one. Love putting those together. Nice. Here is a lime color piece of sea glass, all rounded. Looks like a boomerang. A beautiful little juvenile thorny oyster with its single thorn. And a magnum prickly cockle. This is like almost unreal. Another yellow Cowrie. Like, what is going on? I have no idea, but I'm so happy that I was able to pick so many. And here is another keyhole. It's like, I know I need to get back to Corey and Ella, but I kept finding things up here. Here is the spine of, I believe, a purple sea urchin. Oh, I will return soon, but this is just, oh, it's so fun. If I had it my way, I could spend all day out here, all day, until hunger or sleep drove me away. Beautiful baby's ear, but man, too bad that's busted in the middle there. Oh, and here's a really nice piece of sea glass, a sea foamy, let's see, seafoam green, wintergreen, seafoam wintergreen. A teeny tiny jewel box lid. Now this is, I think, the right valve, and it is red kind of all the way through that shell, so I'm pretty sure this could be a cherry jewel box lid. Very, very nice. I don't think I've ever found a cherry one before, but that does look like the right side. So the left valve would be cemented to whatever it's affixed to. Awesome. And another broad paper cockle. Gorgeous. Oh, here is a rough scallop. Man, that's so pretty. You can see the rough texture along the ridges there on its ribs, hence its name. Beautiful. And a shark eye. This is a really pretty one. It looks like it's a little worn around the swirl, but that only adds to its definition. And here is one of the most common crab species that you can find on the beach, the Atlantic ghost crab. And this one was quite chill. Wasn't worried about me at all. Gorgeous view you got there, little crabby. Okay, it was a beautiful walk. The tide is coming in and I am making my long way back to Ella and Corey.
Because Mommy's phone died, so that's how Mommy found it. You want to pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay, go pick it up.
It's broken.
I know, it's broken. That's okay. Mommy's going to fix it like the other one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll fix it, okay?
Sit down.
You want me to sit down?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go sit down. Come on.
Okay. I go to walk. I run away.
He give it to you?
Yeah, I run away.
Here, you want to hold it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's big, Ella. Show Mommy. It's a big shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mommy.
You have fun with Daddy?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, my papa.
Your pack got wet?
Yeah.
Yeah, big wave came and got you, huh? Okay.
Here is that shell that you saw Ella pick up that I refinished down to its last intact layer. I love restoring these helmet shells and my phone did die. So I had picked it up and carried it back and placed it like exactly how I found it. And I was like, Corey, I need your phone. So we did a little reenactment with Ella picking it up. So a few days later, I came back here to the same place with Ella and Connor to meet up with my new friend Jeannie. I had done the shell trade with her back on my Peanut Island video. She was here on a birthday trip from Washington with her grandson Curtis that Connor enjoyed catching sand fleas with, and her daughter Roxanne. Yay! It was so nice to meet another Roxanne. Ella had a fun time with her. Such a sweet soul. And Jeannie's close friend Angela gifted me one of my bucket list shells, a paper nautilus. She found it a few days earlier down at MacArthur and I couldn't believe it. I asked her, like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to give me this shell? This is really special. Oh, I'm so stoked to have received this. So thank you again, Angela and Jeannie. We had such a great morning out. Happy birthday to you all. Here are those shells that I'm going to soak in the 6% hydrogen peroxide to get them clean, and that bottom flat zigzag is what Corey found. Well, look how well they turned out, especially the lower valve of the zigzag. It just came out so nice and white. I do have a video that goes into detail on this process to clean shells, and I'll link it in this video's description. And here are all the beautiful shells that I found. Look how many coffee beans just lined up. Oh, so happy to find those. That little painted cockle was nice too. Okay, so here's the carrier shell that I went ahead and decorated. All right, it's not like the best deco job, but hey, I think it looks pretty cute. It's got some nice sea glass. I can't believe I found all those calories. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 of them. Yay! Pops of orange, lots of nice flat scallops, and the lower valve of the flat scallops also. The paper cockles were so cool to find. The purple similes are nice. Mexican talons, Scotch bonnets, yay! Olives and turkey wings in the back there, and those yellow prickly cockles. Did find a few pieces of lion's paw. Didn't find a whole one, that's okay. Magnum cockles and jewel box lids, shark eyes, that fruit calico, landing and waiting clams, limpets, and I'm holding on to that doghead triton piece till I find one. That one lightning Venus clam that I did keep, a couple of worms. I do love that helmet and cowries, but the paper nautilus for me, yep, steals the show. Thank you again, Angela, for that. And thank you so much for watching. It has been amazing to see this channel grow over the past 16 months, and I look forward to many more beach walks with you. Please like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I leave you with this.